Christine Lagarde had some strong words of praise for China for pulling no less than 500 million of its people out of poverty in just the past 3 decades. But if Lagarde had one eye on China's past growth, well, the other eye was firmly on China's future. That's because a slowdown in the world's second biggest economy would impact the region as well as the world. And Lagarde said she, quote, humbly gave 3 suggestions, 3 priorities to make sure China keeps it up.
First of all, we think that it's important that China can continue to support growth. And on this score, China is in the enviable position of having the space to provide some modest fiscal support for its economy. Second, to continue shifting the drivers of economic growth away from investment and exports and towards domestic consumption. Third, China could certainly improve the household livelihood so that China's citizens may all share in the dividends of high and sustained growth.
And the key word you heard over and over there was growth. Lagarde added that the IMF is encouraged that those goals she outlined have been embraced by Beijing, most recently at the National People's Congress just last week. She also paraphrased the Chinese philosopher Confucius when giving one piece of advice for the world. She said, "In all things, success depends on preparations, where failing to plan is planning to fail." And she says China is a good example of this. Its plans to keep growth up have been working, they've been taking hold, and the IMF is supportive of its actions. Now, one of Beijing's other policies has also been taking hold as well, keeping a lid on property prices. And the Chinese premier, Wen Jiabao, has been the point man on pushing real estate prices down. And we're seeing falls in many first and second tier cities. As it turns out, home prices in China fell for a 5th consecutive month. That's according to China's Statistics Bureau, and they're expected to keep falling for at least the next few months more. The aim here is to make housing affordable for more people. Take a look at the numbers. Between January and February, 45 cities saw the prices of new properties fall. Those include first-tier cities like Beijing, Shanghai, and Shenzhen. 22, though, those were unchanged, but only 3 saw gains in price. And a quick look at the property sector, and you can see real estate companies just did not like this news at all. With that said, we're probably not going to see the end of property price cooling measures. Those include higher down payments, higher mortgage rates, and a limit on who can buy a second home, all in order to limit speculation. But with these curbs set to stay in place, one analyst is afraid they actually might cool the economy off too much.
On one hand, they have tightened monetary policy last year to curtail the rise in property prices and inflation, which they actually have done relatively well. The risk now is on the other side, that they've tightened too much. So for the moment, what they're going to try and do is loosen monetary policy, increase growth, try and spur domestic demand. But it is a long way to go for that. It doesn't happen overnight.
And his comments on China's growth and domestic demand brings us right back to Christine Lagarde's priorities for China as well. Everyone is suggesting the same course for the world's most populous country, and a lot of China watchers will point out they're already on that path. Ray Minasencio, CNN, Hong Kong.